I'm really looking at gamelan as an art. It's no longer a medium to produce just sounds. I am Rosmaini. People call me Rose. I'm a gamelan practitioner. I started off with traditional gamelan and I slowly explore contemporary experimental. And today my practice is exploring gamelan and electronic music, electronic sounds. My work, it's about Banten. Banten means offering. In this offering that I'm doing, I'm actually bringing in the concept of kanda empat. So kanda means like siblings or brothers, and empat is four. So this concept talks about your placenta, umbilical cord, blood, and amniotic fluid. So these are your brothers that has been with you even before you were born. Even in Javanese, they also use it, but they call it sedulur papat lima panca, like the four brothers. And the fifth one is you. I think what triggered me or like got me interested is because I have a Javanese friend who needed to do her fasting, and I was asking her, so what do you recite before you like, oh, I want to fast? So then she mentioned this, oh, I usually have to say this, which it came out that phrase of sedulur papat lima panca, which is in Balinese is the kanda empat. So I got, wow, like who would have thought that even though these four so-called brothers, they are not visible, like you can't see them anymore, you're already out, you know, but you still need to feed them, you need to remember them. But then when I did my reading, said that these four actually are guiding you wherever you go until however old you are. So to be in a position to be grounded, to remind you again, you have to just sit in and use your sixth sense, your rasa. Rasa means feeling, right? To feel, to realign, I feel. So I think this work is about that. I know when I got this residency, I want to develop the work because one thing in my head, the one I did explain, I cannot play them. You know, a lot of my friends who pass by, like, can I touch them? Can I play? I mean, they're musical instruments, they need to be played in their sound. So I think I use the time to find meaning in various corners of the spaces. That's where along the way, like, I get my musicians to come and rehearse. I'll just hang out here to see the flow, you know, where people see. Like, for example, the middle section here has always been like a meeting point. And then I was just thinking about, okay, in the concept I'm doing, offerings, meeting point of what? Maybe meeting point of the gods, you know, for example. So it just keeps growing, and which by this Banten here, I realized it still is the same offering to heal, but the healing is different this time because all the work is off the wall. Everything just comes out, and plus all the instruments are going to be sound. People are just going to come in and play. And also, of course, with the recent chaos of the world and all, like, these people keep talking about having voices, need to be heard. So I thought, okay, yeah, this is exactly what it should be, you know, healing outside, like expressing it really out compared to what I did for Esplanade, just sit down yourself, heal inside, realign yourself. So I think that's how it has developed for the Banten here. In Balinese philosophy, there's so much symbols happening. I use 4 different symbols that represent earth, fire, air, and water. It shows on the side of the wall where I use triangles. The bigger triangles going up and then down, and the slimmer ones with what's attached above and below. But I don't grow up with these symbols and that symbols. But when people come in the space and they're like, hey, this is this, that's where I also learn and find out more. So all this bouncing back, it's really great, it's really beautiful. How I bring them up, these instruments here, I've always tried to closely work towards how the instruments are being built as an instrument, you know. So that means strings are always connecting them, racks are always holding them. So for this time around, a lot of instruments will be on the ground, so I wanted to make like frames that closely to how they were built, born with. When people enter the space, before the live activation, there'll already be soundscape here. Here, like as if someone is already singing, doing something in the space, but you can't see them. So later there'll be a sound of the rebab, which is Javanese gamelan. When you hear that, and then the musicians will gather, but that's not really, maybe not really the musicians, there's other, the people who were, which initially you can't see, and then they will come down and we're gonna start blessing this Banten together. My work is all about healing. If things are were to come, it's all about good things. So, and it comes from the text I choose closely. Some in a different context when they do, for example, wayang kulit, they use that text for start of the piece to bless, you know. So constantly looking for all this text and singing melodies to fit into the healing setup. Just nice it start within the first week of 2024. You know, it could be a great start to the year. There are other 7 musicians with me. How it's going to start and move also talks about how the offering should, in a way, move. So when you come in the space, you come into the wall on the side, the sub space, because it talks about direction, getting it aligned first, and then you move to the back piece. That's where the voice starts to come out, and then other than that, you move to the center. That's where we come together and create that balance at the end of the day. Even in the electronic sounds, mostly my sound, the root sounds are all gamelan samples, and you modify it, put effects. But on top of this, I decided to bring in non-traditional instruments. Like for the live activation, you will see someone playing the trumpet and an accordion. For me, it's just, okay, how can we add the space to it? It's more of, I want as many sound and voices from other people other than me. I feel very thankful that I met gamelan, because it's really about the process of learning, not really about what you're going to play at the end, right? So I think the flexibility in gamelan helps me a lot in my approach to life also, like and art making. I think the learning of gamelan music itself, like it's very different from Western, where strictly we have a score, you have to follow it. It doesn't happen that way. And then in terms of counting, for example, people are just like, oh, is it in fours? Is it? And it doesn't really exist in gamelan. It's really like, sit down, okay, play, and just follow first. It might scare a lot of people, because to them it's not the normal way of learning music. But that's the process, to be able to follow a group. Because at the end of the day, it's not about you playing that instrument, that sound. It's what we want to achieve as a whole. My teacher, his Balinese teacher, Dewali, he used this term, oh, what is gamelan? Gamelan is just an instrument, it's just a medium to produce sounds. At the point of time, I didn't know what he really meant. So, but now I understand what he meant. You know, it's all about perspectives and where what you want to make and where you want to find all this sound. So, all the instruments that you see, they are gamelan instruments. I don't really look at, oh, I need a Balinese gamelan, I need a Javanese gamelan. I'm really just, okay, I needed a instrument that looks like this and the sound sounds like this. Okay, I'm gonna get this. So in general, I just use gamelan instruments. I no longer split them up into Javanese, Balinese. I don't think you need to understand art, but I think maybe just understand how life works, you know, because I feel like there's this also saying that I learned, which got me to remind myself always that I don't live to do art, but because of art I can live, you know, because I feel like it's everywhere. Like me hanging out strings, it's not, oh, art, it's really just strings and hanging, and then when you put it up, hey, this looks like this looks like a tree, this looks like a heart. And what is a heart? Oh, it's a home, it's a shelter. Like, it's everywhere in you that I feel like sometimes, even for myself, sometimes take things for granted and we forgot that actually it's really everywhere. Try to tell my friends, no, you don't have to be an artist to come and see my work, and even so you don't understand, it's fine, but how do you feel? You know, and everyone is entitled to feel however they feel in that space, because everyone's really different. Especially now that it's not just instruments, there's all strings, there's lines, there's symbols. You know, if it could help bring your how do you feel out even more, then okay, good, that's great. I think that's what the work should be, it's about, yeah.